We cut back to the surface of the planet. The storm appears to have cleared, and Pike again tries to call the Enterprise, but is answered with only static. He thinks it's safe to go outside again and remarks on how the creatures had gone to great lengths to save their lives. If that was the case, why didn't they do so for the colonists? Spock sees two possibilities. Either, one, they were not motivated to save the colonists due to some previous interaction, or two, they were the colonists.
Yep.
Spock had found references to odd behavior relating to the previously mentioned disease. The infected had a compulsion for light, and some were driven to insanity and driven into the storms themselves. Pike wonders if that wouldn't have killed the colonists, and Spock confirms it, though theorizes that the charged particles would have bonded with the colonists' electromagnetic presence, creating what they saw. As they speak, a second record cylinder pops out as if on its own. It is a thorough account of the colonists' effort to renounce their genetic engineering in order to join the Federation. It would seem that even in death, Spock concludes, that they wanted us to be aware of who they really are. As they walk out to the rendezvous point, Spock notices how some Illyrians were bioengineered to fight disease. Had they not tried to reverse their augmentation, they might not have all died. They wanted to join the Federation so badly, their good faith gesture got them killed. Pike agrees grimly. In sickbay, Una brings M'Benga back to consciousness and explains that she had an antidote. La'an had tried to jump into the warp core, and both were exposed to lethal doses of radiation, but Una's healing ability was able to save them both before she re-engaged the field. Chapel adds that La'an was not Illyrian, but her proximity to Una created chimeric antibodies in her system, and Chapel was able to synthesize them into a cure before they set. Don't thank me, I know I'm good at my job, Chapel states, and that's a great line. I love the way they delivered that. And M'Benga tells Una that they all owed her their lives, but Una looks grim for a moment, and there was something she had to take care of. La'an sits alone in the recreation room, eating from a bowl of strawberries. As Una sits across from her, Una remarks that she packs a hell of a punch, and didn't mean it as a compliment. La'an asks what the penalty for striking a superior officer is, but Una can't seem to remember. Asking if they were still friends, La'an admits that part of what she said was a sickness talking, but part of it was her own hatred of augments. Given how she'd been treated, being a descendant of Khan, and understanding why augments were banned on the Federation, as they had nearly destroyed Earth. Una acknowledges the damage augments had done, but Illyrians were different, seeking to collaborate with nature, not dominate it. Instead of terraforming, they adapted themselves, and Una sees nothing wrong with that. La'an counters by asking if Una really felt that way, why did she hide it, especially from her? Una admits that she's hidden it from a lot of people, but all she had ever wanted since first seeing the stars was to be in Starfleet. La'an knows, as Una had given her that dream too, and also had introduced her to strawberries as a comfort food.